All right, good morning. It is Thursday. It is September 7th, and it is the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show, brought to you by our friends at Invita Health and Wellness. Our Invita Health and Wellness studios, by the way, are in Brentwood, and if you're new to the show, on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, we are mobile. That's kind of something that had come because everyone said, Monica, you are all over the place. Yes, and so we made the mobile version. If you ever want to join us on Wednesdays and Fridays, it's our own little version of the Today Show right there in the corner of Jefferson and Kirkwood Road. You can come on by the window, you can hold some signs, you can knock on the door. I'd love to say hi to you. On Thursdays, I'm here at my house, and I love to be outside as often as possible. Get outside. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's a beautiful, nice breeze out here this morning, and just enjoy it because you're still going to get the gorgeous days here for the next few days. And then, of course, we have the change happening. Everyone's either on one side of the fence saying, I'm not ready for the end of summer, or you're over here saying, I'm ready for fall. The autumnal equinox is just a couple of weeks away. So the change of the season. And one of the things I'm going to talk about today is, in fact, seasonal affective disorder. It's a real thing, folks. In fact, I had a client that told me she suffered from it year in and year out until a year ago. So what changed in her? And is there hope for you? Of course, that big word, hope, possibilities, something I always want you to choose. If you are new to the show, you might not know that we talk about the triangle of life theory that I started over 5 years ago with a lot of my private clients. And then I wanted to bring it to the center stage for all of you. It's a part of my motivational speaking that I do. And it's all knowing that if one of the parts of this triangle are out of balance, well, then we're going to walk around day in and day out feeling we're off, right? We just feel a little depressed, and mental health issues became a big thing over the last few years that people started saying, I'm not okay. They're at home during the pandemic and COVID hit, and people weren't able to see and socialize. And now people are starting to talk about it again. They're talking about masking up. I just saw somebody post something about a flight attendant that was triple masked. Are you wearing masks again? I am not watching the news. As you know, I have not watched the news since I left on January 2nd. It's just not a part of something that I want. Now, I'll keep in touch with things that are, I think, important that we talk about here, but it's always finding the solution to it, not just throwing it out to you like we did in the news and just moved on. We didn't do anything about it. Well, this show is to do something about those things that are weighing heavily on your mind. I had one of our regular viewers reach out and say, Monica, is it okay not to be okay? Absolutely. I've said that multiple times, but I want you to speak it. Say, I'm not okay. And then somebody else says, I'm not okay either. And then you realize you're not alone. And then you start having that commonality. But we want to find a way out of it. And what's the triangle of life? Spiritual, mental, and physical health. I do the 33 and a third percent of the pie, and all of those add up to 100%. So again, if your mental's off, your spiritual's off, your physical's off, the 100%'s off. One of those, hopefully, is doing okay. You want to get up, you want to go for a walk out in the beautiful day we have today? Great, your physical side is doing okay. So that'd be the bottom of the triangle, right? Nobody has to tell you to get that one done. But if your mental side is off, it's way up the top of the triangle. And you've got to take care of that. Do a little meditation. Surround yourself with positivity. Listen to positive things. Maybe music is what lifts your soul up. Or maybe the spirit side, again, is a little off kilter. Those are the things that we talk about on this show. And by the way, on Thursdays, so today, we always drop a brand new show on all the audio podcast platforms. And today, it is paying homage to our military. It's a few days before Patriot Day, the National Day of Remembrance, September 11th. On September 11th, we will be airing the full-blown show where you'll be able to see Chuck Eastman from Stop Soldier Suicide, JD and Angel talking about their triangular compass, very similar to my triangle of life, but their percentages are very different. So we loved how we came together on our mindsets of that. And then Tim Jensen, as well as Boone Cutler, they're going to talk about the Citizen's Guide to Fifth Generation Warfare, the brainwash that's taking place in our country by these. It's a fascinating show, and also talking about their years of service. So you'll hear that actually early. You'll hear it today, dropping on all of the audio podcast platforms, wherever you get your audio podcast. That's today at 8 a.m. So you'll have a continuation after the show if you want to take that in. And again, remember all those that have fought for our country. And then on Monday, if you want to hear it again or see it, that's the show that we have planned for you on Monday morning. So we've got a lot of great things things that are coming up, and huge guests, by the way, that I'll be running down for you a little bit later on in the show. Let's say good morning to some of you. Marilyn, good morning. Good morning. Yes, it is beautiful out, Linda. Hi, Rose. Good morning, love. Autumn. Yeah, Leona. Some people are ready for it. Some people are not. Good morning, Kathleen. Happy Thursday to you as well. Jillian, Sean. Jillian said no mask. I'm over it. I know, right? Laura, good morning. Kathy, good morning to you as well. We're not going to get into whether you want a mask or not mask. I'm just asking if people are, again, since I'm not watching the news, I don't know if it's being mandated anywhere. I'm hoping not, but we have to follow rules if we want to go to certain places. Otherwise, you just don't go there. We're not going to get into the political side, though. That is not this show. You want to do that somewhere else, that's fine. I'm just wanting to know if it's out there. Just let me know, because I do not carry a mask around. But if I need to, let me know if I need to do that. We're going to talk about seasonal affective disorder a little bit later on in the show. But if you remember back on my Channel 2, Channel 5 days, I did a really beautiful piece on an organization that I want to bring to this show today. It's Rainbows for Kids, and it's giving kids something to look forward to. We're talking about kids with cancer and other debilitating diseases, 20th anniversary, and their big gala that's coming up in November. So I want you to stay tuned for that. Sally Rains will be my guest. We'll have more with Sally when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment, or online envitahealthandwellness.com. 707. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Each and every one of you that have been doing so from day one. I so appreciate you, because you're the ones that have been going out and telling the world that everybody needs to listen to this show, watch the show, and pull positivity into their life. All of us that are like-minded, we are doing just that. And I ask you to share, not just here. Don't keep it here in St. Louis or across the river in Illinois. Share, share, share. Follow and like all of these comments, and let's spread it all over the United States, all over the world, in fact, so that we can have people watching and knowing that we can do something about the heartaches and the things that are going on in the world. There are bad things. How do we get past those? What can we do? Don't turn a deaf ear or blind eye to the stuff that's going on. Reach out of your comfort zone, get out of your own head and out of your own space, and realize things are going on out there. But what can we do about it? Like kids that are suffering with cancer or other debilitating diseases. We had a great organization on earlier this week talking about superstars and supercars. I can't wait for that event. And they give to many organizations. We talked about Cap Rainbow, but Rainbow for Kids. And I wonder if some of the money actually gets a chance to go to them. If not, I'm going to hook them up. That's the beautiful thing, is connecting people that need to know each other. Sally Rains, who I interviewed years ago, my guest right now, Rainbow for Kids. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Monica. I'm super happy you invited me on the show.
Well,
I love your podcast, and I love everything you're doing. It's great.
Oh, well, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Sally actually reached out to me yesterday, and she was just going to have me mention what they have going on. And I said, no, if you want to wake up early, which I know is hard for a lot of people, let's do this together. Let's talk about the organization. So thank you, by the way. I know you and your husband, Rob, are up late doing the scores and writing all the beautiful things for STL Sports Page. So thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you. And we had a Cardinal win last night, so we're on a little small winning streak there. So it was easy
We'll
to get
take
up
those,
this
right,
morning.
Sally?
That's good news out there too.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take it where we can. Let's go all
Yeah.
the way back. 20 years ago, you start Rainbow for Kids, and Sally is the volunteer executive director, an entire volunteer staff.
Yes, that's why I like to always put volunteer executive director in front of it, because no one gets paid. And it was actually 23 years ago when we started it, and I had a little niece that had cancer, and she was 6, Annie, and we always remember her. And we just thought, let's just have one little fun party at Cardinal Glennon. So I got my family and I got my friends and everybody I could possibly get to do it. And we have a couple of, celebrity friends, sports people, like, people in the media and stuff. And they showed up, and it was a really great day. And we thought, gosh, this is so fun for these kids. They're all smiling and they're all so happy. Let's just incorporate it into a charity. And we've been going ever since.
And people have been showing up. That was the thing I love when I did that story for you, is just how many people are saying, "Yes, what can I do for you?" I mean, that's the beauty of what we do, Sally, is that we have a lot of people in higher places that have great hearts and will say, "What do you need from me?" Right? And the sports world has done just that for you.
Yep. And also to what you were saying before, I think positivity breeds positivity. When you're positive and you're trying to spread some joy in the world, you're around those kind of people. So it just seems like everybody that I'm around is very helpful, happy, trying to be happy in this world, and want to help other people. So they all help us with Rainbows for Kids.
Yes, and by
And
the way, if
you
you
did
wanna
too. So thank you.
Oh, no, no, absolutely. If you wanna check out their website, rainbowsforkids.org, I love it. I mean, you go through and see all about the different events that they've done, the people that have showed up, all their different families that are, benefiting from this. So any special stories over the years that just really stay with you, Sally?
Well, we actually lost one of our kids this week, and it's
Oh,
always a
I'm
really sad time. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness
yes.
Month, and it's always great to be able to say something about it. But Christopher was one of our little kids that played on our baseball team, and we have a baseball team that it's we have kids in wheelchairs, girl in prosthetic leg. Anybody can play on our team if you have cancer, had cancer, or someone in your family, or you have a serious situation going on. And it's just to have a lot of fun. And so it was actually great to look back on his pictures and see. And his mom told me, how much that meant to him. And I've heard from other, family members that it every single time they come to one of these events, it cheers them up. And also just being cheered up gets you a positive attitude, which goes a long way in healing, in the healing process, and it helps them with their recovery.
Well, and actually, Sally, don't you also think being around others, like, see, they see other kids going through what they're going through. They see them going through the treatments. They see that they look like they do, possibly, at losing their hair or not feeling their best. Instead of being around a bunch of healthy kids and then feeling that, you see the body language and kind of feeling like they're over here and they're alone and no one else is going through what they're going through. They all of a sudden look over and say, oh, you look like me. And we have this common bond, right?
Yeah, and one of the best things is being able to let them have the friendships that they meet in Rainbows for Kids. And by the way, we are hooked up with Camp Rainbow. We
Yes.
support them; they support us. We love Camp Rainbow. We have, basically the same kids we serve. But the thing about Rainbows for Kids is some of the kids, let's say they get well, but the chemotherapy has affected them. So sometimes they could be getting bullied, or they don't quite fit in, certain ones of them. So we've been starting a new program because I do think that mental health and well-being is important in life. And so we've been doing things with our teens. So like this weekend, we're going to be having a paddleboard thing with the boys and girls that are from 10 to like 19, and they're going to learn how to paddleboard, but they're also going to get self-esteem and involved with it. And it's just going to be a great day, hopefully, if it doesn't rain.
Come on, Mother Nature. We need some assistance here.
Yeah.
Sally, I want to talk about it a couple times. You have a gala coming up. So for those that are with us right now and might have to bounce off, you have a gala coming up, the date of it, where it's held, and how can we help with you?
It's November 10th. And if anybody goes to rainbowsforkids.org/gala, you can just go to rainbowsforkids.org. That's fine. But we just put our website up about the gala. It's really going to be exciting. I want to thank Mike and Lori Rains, my son and daughter-in-law, for setting up this awesome website. But it has all the information, and we have some really cool celebrities. Is it okay if I talk about
Yeah,
that?
I was
Okay.
looking at him last night. I was like, oh my gosh, one of the guys we were just talking about, because evidently he came in town before and he stopped into Trattoria Marsala where we're getting ready to do this beautiful business spotlight. And they were talking about how funny he was. And he pulled up in this
Who is
limousine
that?
with
Who are
pretty
you talking
girls.
about?
That was Eddie Munster.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Butch Patrick. Yep.
Yes. So he and several other kid stars that we or others before us all grew up watching. Run the list down. It's so cool.
Okay, so we got the Beeve coming, which
The
is gonna
Beeb.
be awesome. You can party with the Beeve if you come to the Rainbows for Kids Gala. Jerry Mathers, that played, obviously, Theodore Cleaver Beaver on Leave It to Beaver. Then we've also got, so you said, Patrick Curtis, and we've got Keith Thibodeau, who played Little Ricky on The Lucy Show.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised to know that he actually is a drummer. Remember on The Lucy Show, he was Lucy and that was their kid, and so he would
Okay.
play
Yeah.
the drums on the show. And
Okay.
so he may or may not play the drums that night. And then we've got John Provost, who was Timmy on Lassie. So I'm just
That I don't
super
remember.
excited. Well, Lassie?
I remember, yeah. I remember Lassie, but I think I was pretty young that I don't remember much about anybody else besides the dog on that show. But
Right.
a
Well,
lot of people will.
Timmy was the little boy that was Lassie's owner, and the cool thing about that is his wife is Lori Jacobson, and she's like a celebrity author out in Hollywood, but she's actually from St. Louis. So maybe
Oh,
somebody who's watching this knows her because she will be visiting a lot of her friends when they come in for it. And we met at the Marshfield cherry at the Missouri Cherry Blossom Festival in Marshfield. They
uh-huh.
were having like an autograph session, and I just struck it up with Lori, and that's how kind of how this all came about. We met Jerry Mathers and we kind of continued knowing them and stuff. Another guy that's coming that's really fun is Rick Roberts. And he played Barney Fife in a movie called Mayberry Man that was just put out last year, I think it was. And he goes around the country. He was on Huckabee and he goes to like the Funny Bones and theaters and stuff. He does a really great Barney Fife. So he'll be
That
very
would be
funny in
fun.
the Andy Griffith Show.
Very cool. So, have you've met all of them already?
Yes. Yep.
So, how's the beaver?
The beaver's awesome. I mean, for a person my age, let's say my generation, you can't believe you're actually in the same room with him when you're talking to him. But he's very nice, very sweet. Doesn't do any pranks or anything at this stage. But and the thing I liked about all of these different guys, each one of them is very nice, but their wife is an exceptional person, which I really liked seeing it. Keith Thibodeau, that's was little Ricky. His wife is a ballerina, and they together run a Christian ballerina a ballet Christian ballet. And so each one of them, I could go down the list. They each have like really interesting stories to tell. So even as grown-ups, these men each have, causes that they're doing. Jerry Mathers has diabetes, so he works towards diabetes. But they all had a heart for children. They all came. They're just like it's above and beyond what they're all doing for us for the Rainbows for Kids thing. So I really hope people will come, and I hope there's, you can get the general admission ticket or you can get the pre-party and start saving up for the pre-party because that's going to be awesome. We're going to have little sets where you get your picture taken with each of the people in the set that was like the show that they were on. So it's going to be fun.
Oh, fantastic. Again, it is coming up on
November
November
10th.
10th.
Yes.
And
So
where's it
I mean,
being held?
you'll find all the information on the rainbowsforkids.org/gala.
Where's it being held, Sally?
It's going to be at Orlando's in West County on Dorset Road.
Okay.
And I have the best. I mean, my volunteers are awesome. We don't spend a lot of money hiring party planners. Well, we have a great party planner. Michelle Carter is in charge of all that. And then we have great decorations. Kathy Bosch does a great job. Joan Spink, lots of the people that work on the event. They've started already making awesome centerpieces, decorations, the sets like I was talking about. So anybody that comes will be blown away by what a lovely night it's going to be.
Well, and you've had several, but this is your 20th anniversary. So I'm sure you wanted to make it really, really special.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you'll
Volunteers,
come. I hope you'll come.
November 10th. So I was trying to look at the dates last night.
Friday night.
My entire next few months are slammed with speaking events and galas that people have asked me to come and do auctioneers for. Every weekend, my husband's like, now where are we going? Yes, I do. I am speaking at the Cope 24 gala that evening.
Oh, well, that's too bad because we could have used your husband for security because we have really great auction items.
I'm sure you do. And that's the one thing, anything that you have right now you want to drop, because that's what I remember from doing the story with you, walking around in your house and you were all putting those together. And I was like, wow, you got this. Again, you've got some really big names that you've worked with over the years, you and Rob both, that I'm sure that you would have some incredible ones.
Well,
Anything
for one thing,
you want to drop and say?
we've got a Jordan Walker autographed picture, which is going to be great. We'll have some Adam Wainwright things.
Awesome.
My son Mike works for Adam Wainwright with his Big League Impact charity, so
Awesome.
we'll definitely have some things from him. With Rob's connection with the Cardinals, we get a lot of great things from the Cardinals, and plus, I'm sitting in a room I'm in my craft room. I call it my dream and wonder room. And I built it during the pandemic. It's the happiest room you've ever been in. But right now I'm looking at all the different baskets, just like you said that I had last time all over the house, but I've got them downstairs now. But we've got some really great, I've got like the 60s basket, 70s basket, 80s basket full of memorabilia and things from those times and stuff. So I think, it'll be a good night and people will enjoy it.
Absolutely. Again, rainbowforkids.org/gala to find out all the
Rainbows,
information.
an S in it, rainbows for
Yes.
kids, just to make sure they get to it.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. Rainbowsforkids.org/gala, so you can find out more about the events itself. Before you leave us, can you do me a favor? Because I read the book and I love the fact that you pay it forward. It's right behind you on that poster. Choose Happy. Tell them about that book.
Oh, there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too good at
It's,
figuring
it's,
it out.
it's the other
Anyway,
way.
yeah, I wrote this book called Choose Happy: Find Contentment in Any Situation, and it was interesting because when I started, I wanted to think of a way to organize the chapters. So I just went, find contentment. F is the first. What each thing of a way to have a happy life. And when you go through a lot of tough times in your life or any tough times, you can either just give up and say, "This is what happened to me," and use that. A lot of people I know, I've noticed, they kind of almost like it. It's one thing when you say, "I'm not okay," but try to get okay. Try to talk to people and try to think of positive ways that you can help other people so that you can help yourself, because it doesn't help for us to just sit around and wallow in all of our situations. And all my kids that I work with cancer, they've got a bad life, but I always try, I give them a copy of this Choose Happy book. I give the mothers that, and I try to do the best I can to keep their spirits up. And, it started when we had a niece that had cancer, and she thought about what she could do, not what she couldn't do. So she was always very positive. So the book's full of people. Tessa Greenspan, that you had on last week, she's in the book. It's full of people that have gone through tough times, but yet they keep a positive attitude. And it's a, you know for me writing it, I think it was one of my most important things. Rob and I have written a lot of books, and I've written some sports books and some other things with him. But to me, it was such a coincidence, or not a coincidence, that it came out in 2019,
Mhm.
because then we're all shut down, and the only thing we could do was choose happy, really, or
Right,
fall apart. So,
right.
like I told you, I've probably given more copies away than I've sold. And if anybody out there really needs a copy of Choose Happy, I'll be happy to send it to you, because sometimes it's just, if you read about, it helps you elevate your mood by putting positive things, like you're saying. Don't watch the news. Don't, I love what you're doing, and you're a Choose Happy gal.
I always have been, and Sally, and so it never made sense to people when I was doing the news and anchoring and then delivering all this news. And it really did. And, I've never had a chance to tell you the story, but it really did just hit me one day where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I could just feel how we were dampening people's spirits literally at 4 o'clock in the morning, starting their day this way. And I just started, talking to God, talking to my dad, who I lost 28 years ago as of next Tuesday. And it's just, I want to be guided. I want to be guided. And they just started showing up like crazy saying, go do it. I had forever been told, don't you know you're your own brand? And you hear these things, Sally, but you hear them. It wasn't the time. I'm all about God's timing. And when I heard the message, it was, yeah, let's do this. What are we going to do? And we launched this show on March 1st. And if you're brand new, and I do see some new names that are popping on here, if you're new to the show, that's what Sally and I are talking about. This is what we do. There's a lot of heartache in the world, but we could just sit there and say, oh, the world is falling apart, and then sit back and just be a part of it and don't talk to anybody, don't socialize. As you said, there's a lot of really horrible things going on that we don't want. Young kids that shouldn't be going through these devastating things, but they are. So then what can we do about it? Raise money to help research. And that's what you're doing. And I thank you for that.
We help research, and we also help. What I'm trying to do this year, that we're kind of adding more, I'm trying to add more, where we are talking to either the mothers who have a child who are devastated, or maybe lost a child, give them a little bit of counseling, more one-on-one attention, which we actually do a lot of really great one-on-one. That's why I think people like it, that come to Rainbows for Kids, because they know we love them. We don't just, set things out for them, take a goodie bag, move on.
Right.
My volunteers sit there and talk to them, and they're just as nice as can be. And the funny thing, I do want to say something funny, that you were talking about seasonal
Yeah, we're getting ready to talk
disorder
about
thing.
seasonal
Right,
affective
right.
disorder.
And we're talking about the bad things in the world. Well, since Rob and I run stlsportspage.com and we cover the Cardinals, we cannot not watch the Cardinals.
Right.
So it's been a really bad season, and you
Yep.
might have missed that on the sportscast. But
No, I mean, I've at least heard. I
they're on
haven't
a good
seen, but
winning
I've heard
streak
it's
now.
not the best. Huh?
Right. but it's been basically a bad season. But the funny thing was, I saw something called sports fans depression, and so I interviewed a psychologist, and her name's Sharon Lightfoot, and we put it up on STL Sports page. It's a real thing, sports fans depression,
Absolutely.
and I think a lot of people were walking around grumping because the Cardinals lost, and what should the Cardinals do, and just heads down low. And
Yep.
Rob and I try to be as positive as we can. We had a contest, and we gave every single person that entered the contest a prize just because we wanted to, spread some goodwill and
Kindness,
cheer and
happiness.
stuff like that. So, I mean, you can find the bad stories in every aspect of life, whether it's your health, your, whatever. But we need people like you, Monica, out there, reminding us. And we're not all Pollyannas just because we want to be happy.
Nope.
We know that there's a lot of bad stuff. Maybe that's why we're doing it. Maybe
Yes.
we don't want other people to experience some of the things that we have seen. And so I think that's the most important thing that you do, is to just have people lift each other up and support
You
each
have
other.
to. Well, because Sally, if you just sit there and surround yourself with everyone else that feels the same way that you do, and everybody's depressed, where's the light? Everyone's searching for, can someone please lead us and get us out of the way we're feeling? There are, but you have to surround yourself with those that are like-minded, that want more, that have more hope and have more possibility of wanting to do just that. Or you all have possibility, you just have to believe it. And that's where it all starts. That's why I didn't want to start your day off with negativity. I want to tell you about great things are going on. I mean, I want you to think about these young kids that are going through the diagnosis alone, that word, cancer. And then it's the parents going, my child? Why my child? And then they sit there and question life and they question faith, and they need somebody to bring them back to the faith aspect. So, yes, we need more of people like you and Robin. Thank you, by the way, for what you've done. They actually featured me. What year was that? Was that right when I'm trying to think.
It was right when you started doing news. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Was it 2020?
Well, we didn't have masks on, so it was like must have been you can kind of remember that.
Well, it was awesome because it was, oh, I know what it was. So it was right before my 50th birthday, and I wanted to climb Machu Picchu in Peru. And so, yeah, the whole thing was Monica's trading in the Andes to help, boost and change the world. So I was doing the whole thing of, I want to be in the best. This is really where it started. I want to be in the best mental, physical, spiritual shape of my life. And that was about 7 months before my 50th birthday. And I had put that out there. And then Sally had reached out to me and she's like, let's do something on this, because I love the fact that you've got this community wanting to follow you. That's where the community really started. It was from that one post on social media.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's just great to know you and to see what you're doing to get other people. And it also, I know you're more humble. It's not just you doing it. It's
No.
other people saying, "Hey, I could try that. I could do
Yes.
that." And the odd thing is, um, when you're a person like you or a person like me, some of the things we do, we're afraid people are going to think, boy, that's really out there. That's really weird, but got to kind of like take a leap of faith of what you're going to try to do. And I always figure, if it's something I'm doing that's with a good heart,
Yep.
then whatever I'm doing is okay, even if people think it's strange.
We don't. All we can do is sprinkle it out there, and then it'll either attach to you. You'll be like a sponge, and you'll want a little bit more of it. And you at least say, "Oh, I might try that." You're going to hear some things on Monday from our military on September 11th of things that they've been through and how they get through what they saw and how they transition back to the world and become just a citizen again, because they take that uniform off, and all the things that they go through in their mind. We've got to, again, I say it all the time, we've got to get out of our own head and out of our own space and look at what's going on around us, and then just offer up how can I help? Just talk to a stranger and just give them a compliment. Watch how their whole day changes. I mean, it really is as simple as that. And then it is, let's have communication and let's talk like we're doing here. So one more time, rainbowsforkids.org/gala, November 10th. You need volunteers for that?
We could use any types of volunteers that want to help us. Mostly we need the volunteers with the kids, but we also need corporate sponsors. I wish there'd be that one person out there that's watching it saying, wow, it's probably going to cost some money to get those people, in town. Maybe I'll help them out, because uh, we're kind of going big so that we can get big, because we haven't been able to have a gala for a while because of
Right.
the pandemic. And so I'm really hoping that maybe there's a corporate sponsor out there that it's in their heart to help us out, and that, we got room for the sponsors on the website. You can find it when you go there.
Perfect. So you never know, right?
You
You
never know.
just got to put it out there. You never know who's listening and who wants to say, yes, I got you. And that's what we hope for. Sally, my friend, thank you so much. It was great to see you again.
It was
And
great
I
seeing
wish you
you.
great success continuing to do the wonderful work that you're doing.
You too. Thanks.
Absolutely. Rainbowsforkids.org, just to find out all about the organization, how you can give back, and then /gala, how you can get to their event on November 10th. We just mentioned it a little bit. We're going to go a little bit more in depth. Seasonal affective disorder. It's a real thing, and it's right around the corner as the days get shorter and it gets dark and it's cold and maybe you're very alone. We need to get you around people that are going to lift your spirit. We're going to talk about that when we return.
It's the icing on the cake.
The final brush stroke.
The finishing touches make all the difference in your home, too.
Have fun and get started at carolhouse.com/room planner.
With thousands of accessories in our 3.5-acre showrooms.
Get your picture perfect room and the lowest prices in the country at Carol House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com, 314-567-5585. All right, welcome back. It is a Thursday, September 7th. It's 7:32. And if you're just tuning in, I highly recommend that you go back and listen to the interview that we just had with that wonderful soul, Sally Rains. Met her years back. Of course, if you know anything about sports and you read anything about our sports teams, you know the name Rob Rains, who's been in the sports world for a long, long time. Check out their page, stlsportspage.com. They do a beautiful job. And then again, their website, rainbowsforkids.org, rainbowsforkids.org, and then their gala that's coming up. Let's see what some of you have been saying. Oh, great game last night. Yeah, I love the fact that they finally had a win. Brenda Youngs says, first time in here. Well, hello and welcome. We do this every day. Almost every one of our shows is live, so I get a chance to interact with you, either from our studio, which is Monday and Tuesday. So Brenda, normally we have this beautiful set, our Envita Health and Wellness studios. You'll have to see those. And if you are brand new, understand that all the shows that we've been doing since March 1st are on Facebook and YouTube. So you can go back and watch other episodes. And I highly recommend that. And you just want to fill your soul with great positivity from incredible guests or just wonderful topics that you have all given us. Do that. March 1st to now. I cannot believe we've been doing this show since March already. We debuted in the studio, by the way, in the middle of June. So it's already been a few months since we've done that. And the great thing is our sponsors that have come on board that absolutely love what we do. So if you would like to become a sponsor of the podcast, just reach out to me. Here's my email address, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And I want to thank those that came on right away. Envita Health and Wellness, immediately becoming our title sponsor, believing in the show, and I love you for doing that, as well as Carol House Furniture. And you see a lot of the furniture on our set from our friends Brooke and Amy Dubman from Carol House Furniture. So when you need something for your home or office, please support them because they are good human beings doing great things in the world. And that's really what I want to bring on this show. Not just guests, not just topics, but the people who sponsor the show. I won't just take anybody. That is the integrity that was taught to me by my parents. And it is, yes, this person might want to say, here, I have some money for you. But I'll say, let's sit down and let's talk. Let's see, do we align with each other's mission? What do you want to do for the world, right? I know you have a business and I want to help support you. I'm very big, by the way, on small business. Let's support small business. Not Not that I don't want everybody to succeed in life, but those small businesses, they need your support. They need your help. So when you're going out to get something for yourself or your home or your car or whatever, think about the small businesses first. And then hopefully we'll be having more and more on here to take the guesswork out of it and say, here you go and support these people like Carol House. And again, all the things they're doing for the animals. And then we have Aldon, indoor air quality specialist, Jeff and Toy Miller, incredible human beings. And I hope to get them on soon in an interview because you need to hear about what they've been through. You want to talk about going through some really rough times with something that happened to their daughter and then still remaining so unbelievably positive for the world. That's hard to do, but they've done just that. So if you need something for your home with regards to your HVAC, your heating, your air conditioning, for your home or for your office, please don't look anywhere else except for Aldon, indoor air quality specialist. And we've been mentioning they're looking for an accountant. So if you know someone that's looking for a job in the accounting aspect, they reach out to them. And then we also had Florida Direct palm trees. And you see over my shoulder this beautiful palm tree setting. You know, it's coming down to the last few weeks and then they'll come and pick them up. And that's hard because you just look at the beautiful setting. We have them here and we also have them in studio. So if I had space, I would take those big ones inside. We have a show coming up with Greg Wick, and he's going to talk about how to take care of these things. If you have the opportunity to take them in your home, what do you have to do to keep them alive and keep your spirit alive? Because that's what they do. I mean, we look at the tropical aspect and you think of a warmer setting. You think of the beauty of the zones that are able to have them, right? Well, we can't do that here, at least outside. So we bring them inside. And so Greg Wick is going to talk about that coming up soon. But I love the fact that they transfer their incredible store at the Lake of the Ozarks, Osage Beach, into like Winter Wonderland, Santa's toy shop. That's coming up in November. So hoping to tell you more about that very soon. And then I'm just super excited for some things that are coming up. Clayton Winehouse, November 4th. Please mark it on your calendar. It is an evening with my team, the Real Monica Adams team. So you're going to get motivation. I'm going to help you have the best possible life that you can. So when I do my motivational speaking engagements, it's very different from just this. It's different from my Thursday night classes that I teach, my Zoom classes, because it's the energy of the room and I see the tears, I see the laughter. We connect on another level. It's going to be about a 15 to 20 minute speaking engagement. We're going to have incredible food from my dear friends at Trattoria Marsala, right there off of Chippewa and Watson, just down from Pietro's, down from Ted Drew's. You come off Chippewa, get onto Watson. There they are. And they've been there for 28 years. And they've been doing it right because they regularly get top Italian restaurant. Their chef just got his notoriety, and rightfully so. So when we see number one, you normally see the name Trattoria Marsala right behind it. So thank you to them providing incredible food for your night on November 4th. Drinks, tastings, and then you'll want to get your own bottle or your own glass of something that you fall in love with from our friends. Thank you so much to Chris. I have been having so many meetings with Chris. We've been talking a lot over the last 2 days. And Chris said, Monica, not only do I want to have this great event with you, but let's do something. So I talked months ago about doing a Thirsty Thursday or a Wind Down Wednesday, those fun things. We're going to start sprinkling in segments like that, showcasing some really awesome things that you can do at your home, but why you want to go to Clayton Winehouse. They are incredible people. And they want to do some big things with charities coming up as well. That's one of the things we've been talking about. So they're good-hearted human beings. If you want to go pick up a bottle of wine or a bottle of spirits, or you want to go get some beer for a party that you're having, or just to get together a nice dinner, please go out and see them. They are coming on as one of our sponsors very soon, next month, Clayton Winehouse. And I want you to check them out because the space alone is stunning. I mean, you want to go and pick up something, that's fine. But why would you just like run to a grocery store when you can go in, meet some incredible people, and see this space where you could maybe have a future event? Like I said before, you walk in and they have these glass pieces that look down into this beautiful space that they have for events. And you feel like you can't walk on it because you're going to drop down below, but you can. Just again, so really, really great people. And the space alone, I think, is just absolutely stunning. So I'm excited to have them on. They are at 7911 Clayton Road in Clayton, Missouri. So them and Dr. Charles Willie, That is a name and a person you're going to be seeing a lot. He is going to be doing a segment with me, probably on a weekly basis, and he's going to be like my Dr. Oz. We've talked before of somebody said, Monica, you're my Oprah. So the Oprah of St. Louis and the Dr. Oz, she had her team of experts. I have mine. If someone needs an orthopedic doctor, I send you to Dr. Richard Lehman, who's semi-retired, and then he came back out of it, U.S. Center for Sports Medicine. Dr. Michael Horowitz, he and I are talking about him coming on the show. He owns Feet for Life. And so if anybody ever has anything wrong with their feet, I don't trust them to anybody else. That man is a miracle worker. I mean, seriously, Dr. Michael Horowitz. So you'll be seeing him on, Dr. Lehman, Dr. Charles Willie with Innovare Healthcare. And I know open enrollment is coming up. I want you to look into Dr. Charles Willie. It's Willey. You will see him very, very soon. We're talking about maybe the week of September 18th to kick this incredible collaboration off. So when I tell you I've been busy, I've been busy. Really, my husband, he's such a doll. And I thank you, honey, for being by my side. And you need to have a great support system around you, by the way. I hope you have a wonderful partner in whoever you're involved with. I hope your friends and your family, your siblings, etc., your children are all together realizing, hey, mom's busy, dad's busy, the kids are busy. And that's when you offer a little help and say, what can we do to make life a little easier? And my husband's been doing just that because he knows that I have pretty much been void from us trying to do anything together. And so when there are events I have to do, like yesterday, we had a beautiful 2-hour shoot at Trattoria Marsala. He was there by my side, helping, taking pictures, taking video, shooting some things that you'll actually see in this business spotlight that we'll be doing on Trattoria very soon. So he's coming out and he said, you know what? I want to be a part of the team. And my team, by the way, I want to give a shout out to George Wise, Michelle Harmon, who moderates the show. You've been seeing her in a lot of the comments. She helps out with that in the early morning. And then she helps out so much throughout the day. She is my executive assistant. So if anybody ever needs anything from me, I do a lot of working with her throughout the day to get your answers that you need or to help out in any way that we possibly can. And then Lori Stahlschmidt is my manager. So if anybody ever wants me to speak at their event, whether it's a gala or it's a nonprofit charity that you have, a business that you have that you say, I want to boost our team. How do we get more productive? Let's bring Monica on to do just that. So motivational speaking, emceeing, auctioneering. I'm a personal stylist. Do you know that? You know what? How about this? How about you find out everything that this team is doing? Hi, it's Monica Adams, and I just want to say thank you so much for following along since we launched The Real Monica Adams Show back in March. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that our team can do for you, from styling to emceeing to life coaching to personal training, motivational speaking all around the world. If you have a company, a corporation, a business that would like to book us, email me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Let's change lives together in person. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Well, there you go. Now you know. Okay, isn't this absolutely gorgeous? I mean, the sun coming up, there's what we're looking for in life. That light. The spirit that can just be ignited just simply by looking at that, this beautiful orb in the sky. It's not always there. Well, it's not always seen. Let's put it that way. The sun's always coming up, but you can't always see it. You don't always hear those amazing birds. The hummingbirds are so incredible. They've been going by to get their sugar water, and the breeze in the air. So sometimes it's just about getting outside, vitamin D, enjoying the beauty of nature to lift your spirit. But that is going to not come up as early as it has been. We're going to see the nights start earlier. The days are shorter. What is that? That's when fall comes into play and winter comes into play and seasonal affective disorder, a very real thing. Anybody willing to say, yes, I have suffered from that, and then tell us what you've been feeling, what you've gone through, or someone that you know and deeply love that has done just that? I can tell you, a client of mine, I'll just share her story. She said every year she would get so upset. She'd be all alone at her house. It would get dark, going into fall and winter. And she said she would just kind of crawl into her own little space and be away from the world and be void from the world. And she said, I get really depressed. And she's like, Monica, you're right. It is a real thing. So here's what happened. She reached out to me. I love that, by the way, just taking the initiative. She reached out to me and said, I'm interested in seeing if you have any space for a client to be personal trained in your class. And I said, absolutely. We're not on a wait list just yet. We have been on and off, but life happens. The summer came, people are with their kids. Now the kids are back in school, so the numbers are going up again of people coming back. But it's always good to reach out and ask. Communicate. She said, I just took a chance and I reached out to you and thought, can I be a part of your class? Well, she joined the class, but then here she was having a great time. She's around everybody. She starts to go into fall last year, and she said, on my Thursday night classes, when we do the life coaching together, we started talking about, the depression aspect and feeling alone. And I said, well, the beautiful thing is you now have a bunch of like-minded people that you're going to be able to be around. And I said, you just got to trust that, right? So she loved to hike. She had a hiking group that she was with. They kind of went off and did their own thing. So that kind of, broke up, and that dampened her spirit. And I said, well, we're not going anywhere. These people that you're surrounding yourself with, they are here for you. In the beginning, someone can tell you that and you don't believe it. And then she saw it happen. When I tell you that I have formed a community that will always be there for you, that will have commonality, that will be there and become a new friend of yours. And no one's catty. No one's talking behind your back. No one is sneering at you and thinking, oh, why'd you wear that outfit? Or why does your hair look like that? Or bully you. I will not allow that anywhere around me. Drama, toxic people, leave it. Just go and stay in your own negative space. We don't need it. I would love for you to find some help. I hope that what we say on this show might help you do just that. There's no reason for someone to walk away. This was actually brought up to me yesterday that this friend of mine was working at an event, and she said, this person came over and said, hey, I don't mean to gossip. Well, what the heck do you think this is, right? What you're doing. Why are you hiding what you're saying? If you have nothing to hide, then you'll just sit there and talk like this. She did this. I don't mean to gossip, but this person over there. And my friend right away shut it down and said, hey, look, you know what? She's a really nice person. Why don't you go over and just tell her, like, hey, why are you doing this? Or why are you saying that? Just communicate, folks. Don't feel like you can't. Don't feel afraid to say something to a person. Or you know what? Tell that person, you know what? Look, I'm in this space. This is where I'm going in life. I don't want any part of this. You have every right to say that. And if that person doesn't want to hear it, you know what I'm going to say? They're not right for you. They don't belong in your life because you have standards and integrity where you're over here saying, nope, don't want to be a part of it. If you want to talk about somebody else in this group, you want to be negative, then eventually they'll stand alone, because eventually I hope the world realizes that there's no room for that. So when we talk about good-hearted people, positive people, that they're out there and they're waiting for you, and sometimes you just got to look, where is the community? So she found the community, my client, in what I'm doing here. My classes, semi-private sessions, the life coaching on Thursday nights, all of that. As she started coming around with it more and more and more, she wrote me a beautiful letter and said, Monica, for the first time in my memory, I did not go through a fall and a winter feeling alone. And she goes, I couldn't believe it, because we came out of winter and we came into the beginning of this year, and she said, I didn't feel it. I didn't have it. And I said, see, so there is a possible cure for it. I'm not going to maybe just throw that out there and say it's not a thing. It is a thing. It is a real thing. So when people tell you, look, I'm depressed, I've got some mental health issues, and it seems to happen more when it's dark and it's cold, right. Think about the people, by the way, my mom brought this up in the past, that have lost a spouse or they've lost a child. Sally was just talking about kids with cancer, and you hope that they survive, but the ones that we have lost in the world. Well, when all of a sudden you don't have this light and being able to get outside and it not be dark at 5 o'clock in the evening, then it gets hard on people that are suffering with mental health illnesses or depression. They feel alone and they're inside, and they go to open the door to light and it's not there and it's dark. And then they start getting really depressed and they sit on their couch, and then they're not surrounding themselves with people that could help them. That is what I wanted to bring up today. It's a real thing, so don't discount it when someone says they have seasonal affective disorder, but offer up a hand to say, how can I help you? Don't stay in your own space of happiness and say, I'm going to leave them in the darkness. No. What can you do for them? Invite them over to your house. Turn the lights on. Bring the light to them. Don't just sit there in darkness. They've already been sitting in it. They need some help to come out of that. Understand that. That's very important. Okay, 7:49. I'll look at some of the comments, some really great comments coming in. And just again, if you are suffering from it in the past, know that just from this one example, I know that there's many out there, that there's hope. It is a possibility that you don't have to stay in that, and that maybe your whole life could be turning around. Let's see what those comments are all about in just.
It's the icing on the cake.
The final brush stroke.
The finishing touches make all the difference in your home, too.
Have fun and get started at carolhouse.com/room planner.
With thousands of accessories in our 3.5-acre showrooms.
Get your picture perfect room and the lowest prices in the country at Carol House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com, 314-567-5585. All right. Did you see that? Kathy Kilo Peterson. She joined our growing list of sponsors about a month and a half ago. Kathy is a wonderful State Farm agent, and I love the fact that so many of you have told me that you've been reaching out to Kathy and her staff to get a quote. I mean, what do you have to lose? In fact, if you ask for a quote, she's going to give you a $25 gift card, no strings attached. And if you find that that's not a connection for you, or you don't want to do the big switch, that's okay. But she's just saying, I'm there for you, your car, your home, your auto, supplemental insurance that you want to look into, your boats, you name it. It's anything that you need protection for. So Kathy Kilo Peterson, thank you. We love you. Can't wait for all the big things we're going to do together. KKilo.com, 636-561-6460. Okay, I promised to go to the comments. Good morning to Jamie. Brenda, again, has said that she's brand new to the show, and I love that. Let's see. Okay, Marilyn says very few are masking, but cases are rising. A lot of friends flying, coming back sick. I mean, it feels like we're moving forward, and then you feel like you move backward, kind of like the seasonal affective disorder. You feel like, how do I get out of it? There is hope out there, but honestly, we cannot shut the country down again. The masking up, I mean, again, I don't want to get into that, but there's so much it showed that it didn't help. It's more so if you yourself are sick. I mean, be a good person that respect, right? We've always been told not to go to work or be around people and be coughing and sneezing. And so if you're not feeling well, take some time. I mean, hopefully you've got some sick time, but if not, maybe that's why you would, only because you are trying to not be sneezing and coughing all over someone. We cannot shut the country down. What it did, it was devastating to so many businesses that I don't think they could climb out of it again. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. And, it just became so political that, it just feels like a bad movie that we don't want to see. Rose was welcoming Brenda. I love that. So Michelle said, find The Real Monica Adams on your favorite podcast platform. New audio podcast drops every Thursday morning. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show, but if you tuned in towards the latter part, there's a show honoring our veterans in less than 10 minutes. So if it's Amazon or iTunes or Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcasts, that's on Thursdays where you can, at 8 o'clock in the morning, find a brand new show. And sometimes you'll get a little sneak peek. So now it's bonus. You get to hear, and then on Monday morning, you'll get to see those incredible guests that we have on. Again, I can't thank enough to Chuck Eastman, JD, Angel, Tim, and Boone, all of them sharing their time with us, talking about their military days. And then again, asking for the the ways that we can help them and the wonderful things that they're doing. Great book, by the way, Fifth Generation Warfare, The Citizen's Guide. He's got 2 of them. So we discussed that in the latter part of the show. So enjoy that. That'll be coming up for you in about 10 minutes. Kathy, again, already had said a great game last night. Sally mentioned that the Cardinals had won. The birds on the bat looked great. Go Chiefs. Yes, we all started supporting the Chiefs, didn't we, after the Rams left? Love to watch the Chiefs. Heidi has her jersey ready. Let's see. Thank you, Sally. God bless you, everyone who's involved. What a blessing for many. Yeah, rainbowsforkids.org. Check them out. Good morning. Anne says she loved the topic that Sally and I were talking about. She had a former student with cancer. And Anne, by the way, love what you do for the world. Love the Andy Griffith Show. Yeah, we were talking about some of the childhood kids that are going to be the ones you watch on TV, like Leave It to Beaver, Eddie Munster, all of them, Little Ricky. They're all going to be at that Rainbows for Kids gala coming up in November. Michelle dropped some things for you, by the way, to help out. If you want to help out the Rainbows for Kids gala, the STL Sports page, she put the links on there. Always keep an eye to the comments because she's doing some incredible hard work for you to make sure that you don't have to go searching for it. That's why she moderates. She helps you out. If you ask questions, she might be able to answer before I get to it, or she'll drop the links that you need. John, keep it up. Well, thank you. Carrie, good morning. Thank you for sharing Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, says Cheryl. Yes, good to see you. And Seasonal Affective Disorder. Yep. Carrie says no allowed about it. What's the biggest struggle that you have, Carrie? Marilyn said that I am her Oprah. Thank you. Jillian just Googled Clayton Winehouse. Looks amazing, and I'm a huge wine drinker. Jillian, go in there. Do me a favor. Tell them, we're actually going to start this before they even kick off their sponsorship with us. I can guarantee you that they will honor it for you. Tell them that you heard about them from this show, and they've got a discount for you for your very first purchase, just because you listen. Isn't that cool? There's a lot of great things you're going to get just because you're a listener and that you know how important it is to change lives, and we're doing that together. So yeah, Jillian, go say hi to Chris and Tim and Sean. My brother Craig works a lot of events on the weekends, so maybe you get a chance to see him. Go check them out on Clayton Road, Clayton Winehouse, and put it on the calendar. November 4th. You've got to be there. You do not, trust me, you do not want to miss that event. Michelle and I are working feverishly to get the ability for you to purchase the tickets on my website. That'll be coming very, very soon. And then you'll hear from some of the sponsors. Kathy Kilo Peterson, by the way, is sponsoring that gala. We've got a few others I can't say just yet that are coming on. By the way, if you do know somebody that wants to sponsor that event, please let me know. Sponsoring the event or being a part of this show. And I do want to thank this one woman, Rose, for reaching out to us and telling us about 3 incredible businesses that she thought might want to be a part of the show. We've had a meeting with one. I've got a meeting with another. And you tell us, who do you know that wants to be a part of this show and wants to get noticed and have more business come to them because this community loves the fact that they're a part of this? Let us know. Again, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. It's all about the team, Marilyn says. No, you know what? Every day, it's all about the team. Team KKP is amazing and is bringing on 2 new team members. Wow, congrats. You already have 11? 83 years of service. I'm impressed. Carrie, thank you. Seasonal affective disorder is real. The shorter days can affect emotions, and if you're bipolar, it can hit you hard. Thank you for passing that along. She said, for me, I get blue when it's dark when I go to get off work. I live alone, so that makes it harder. That's exactly what this client of mine said. So that's when I want you to have an accountability friend, a mentor, someone that you can reach out to that will lift the dampened spirit. That will be your sunshine. See, we just had it there, right? And then all of a sudden it gets hidden by the trees. And that's kind of how they feel in life, is that they're looking so much for just peering through a little hole of light. And then it appears and it goes away. They need you. So if you know someone that's suffering, please reach out to them, right? Get out of your own way and say, hey, I know someone that's suffering with this. Julie says, I've been twice. I have 2 new friends and you're one. She's enjoyed the Thursday night class. And I love the fact that you're a part of it. So this year I've lined up a bunch of comedy sitcoms that I can watch, Carrie says. I now have a tribe through this podcast as well as a group called Celebrate Recovery. My mentor and I have been discussing it, and I'm getting a blue light, which they say helps. Yes, it does. Thank you for bringing that up, because I did a story on it a while back. It's kind of like that vitamin D that we were looking for from the sunshine. That blue light does help with seasonal affective disorder. I'm also going to pick up a new hobby to do during this time and increase my workout time. This year is going to be different. See, and she's already putting it out there. So sometimes it's just, I'm going to do this. And then you need an accountability partner to check in on you to say, Are you doing it? Are you doing your workouts? Are you surrounding yourself with positive people? Are you listening and viewing positive things? All those things are going to help. They add up, but don't try to overwhelm yourself with too much. Just take it a little by little by little. Marilyn says, Carrie, that's truly amazing and so excited for you. You were at the retreat. Yes, she was. And that day marked my change. Moving forward, love you. Game plan, right? A lot of it is just putting it out there and then having someone keep you accountable. Carrie said, thank you. Yes, Rose, we both know John. Oh, yeah, yep. Love that. Great idea. Accountability partner, right, Jerry? It's important. I used to team my clients up when they were talking about struggling in their personal training realm. And I would say, you need someone to check in on you. Maybe it's as simple as a text. Maybe it's a phone call. Maybe it's a meet me out for coffee. Hey, how you've been doing? Because not everybody in a group, not everybody's going to be able to be there on a daily basis. But you've got me as your coach, as your trainer, as your motivational speaker, as your MC, as your auctioneer, as your stylist. I'll give you my time when we're together. But then what happens? All the other hours. I don't want you to go crawling back in your hole. I want you to know that there's possibility out there. And hobbies. One of my clients brought up that she used to want to play the piano. And I said, you're still alive. Pick it up. Look, my concussion kept me from mine. I look at it all the time and are you ready to go back to it? What I don't want is the feeling of the nausea, the nauseous feelings, the dizziness that I have many times. I don't want that to come back, so I will just sprinkle it in sometimes. We can't overwhelm ourselves because then it just feels overwhelming to us. Terry, again, keep busy. An idle mind is a devil's workshop, she said. Very good point. All right, we're going to wrap up the show the way we always do. And I just want to say, again, we sprinkled in a lot of things today. Carrie says if you have a chemical imbalance, you can't help it. It's not about idleness. Yeah, that's something that, again, a good doctor will be able to take care of. Well, let's bring up this. I would really like for people that are suffering mental health, trauma, to look into Invita Health and Wellness and the wonderful things that Dr. Sarah and her staff are doing with ketamine. Look into ketamine treatments. And if you think it's something that you want to try, again, I want you to try Invita Health and Wellness. Okay, we have a quick break coming up for you, and we'll be back to wrap up Pay It Forward with some positivity from Jeff Kozatek. Invita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Invita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Invita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Invita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online invitahealthandwellness.com. All right, well, welcome back. It is the final few minutes of our show. So if you're just tuning in, welcome aboard. Go on back to the beginning of the show. You'll hear from Sally Rains, Rainbows for Kids, their upcoming gala, the incredible work that they do. Talked a little bit about seasonal affective disorder, and I want you to realize it is a real thing. So do not dismiss when someone tells you that they're struggling with that, because it's a real thing and they need a little help. And again, I love the fact that Jerry said accountability partner. That's a great idea. Absolutely. So we started yesterday talking about empowering. We are in the empower part of the blueprint for value. We talked about flexibility. That was number 27. 28, high hands. Personal boundaries are necessary for sustainability. Boxing coaches, and I'm one of them, by the way. I teach boxing on Monday nights. Boxing coaches say, keep your hands high. Why do I do that? I tell my clients all the time, anybody who takes boxing from me, I will say, you're doing great, but what are you doing wrong? They will constantly be doing this. They'll do this stuff, or they're coming around doing their hooks, or they're doing their uppercuts, and then they never go back to do this to protect themselves. The boxing class that I teach, by the way, open to men and women, kids, seniors alike. Boxing has been shown to help people who suffer from Parkinson's, by the way. It helps the cognitive side, keeps them moving, helps with the motor skills as well. So many beautiful things about it. So I taught boxing for many, many years, the fitness side, the incredible body that you can get, the way you are carving the body, because it's phenomenal endurance and it really starts to shape you up. So you want to look into something, you could just do the simplest things of shadow boxing. So that's it. Coaches say, keep your hands high. They say this because they don't want you to get knocked out and they want you to protect your face or protect the body, protect the gut. Punches make the highlight reel. but defense, high hands, sustain a fight and provide opportunities to deliver that knockout punch. Attacks can come in the form of criticism, but also our demands on our heart, on our mind, and our body, our resources, our time, and our talent. It's okay to say no or put limits on what you commit to. It's tempting to give until you're empty, but you must set personal boundaries to stay in the game and make your giving sustainable. Holding your hands high can increase your confidence, right? Reach up, open up, don't close the body. Show that you're open to other people coming into your life. It increases the confidence, your worthiness, your productivity, your efficiency, and your creativity, as well as physical and mental strength. So, your takeaway from the day: you've got one life with limited resources. Treat yourself as though you're worthy, because you are, of protecting you. Keep your hands high, folks. I just love that we are getting through the 52 habits to discover and strengthen your personal worth. And we'll be going to number 29, which is called All In. Mondays and Tuesdays, I sprinkle in 100 Days to Freedom from Stephen Arterburn. We started some of the devotionals from Jesus Calling and then the Blueprint for Value. I just love introducing you to really positive things. There's so much out there for you that you can read, that you can listen to, that you can receive. Great podcasts. And when I find really good ones, I pass those along to you. We had Cynthia Kirkpatrick on from the She Lift Project. Check out hers, please. She's got new ones coming, but she's already had several episodes that she has dropped. But always be here with us. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to please share, like, and follow our live stream Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Thursday morning. So right now on all of the audio podcast platforms, we are dropping our new show and we are honoring our veterans. And that is something you're going to see and hear. Today, you're going to hear it. And then on Monday, you're going to see it. And I can't wait for you to do just that. Thank you all for being a part of this community, paying it forward. Don't keep it to yourself. Spread, 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 and let everybody know that we are here to change the world together. And go out, be anything you want to be in the world. You know what I'm going to say before you be anything. Folks, be kind. God bless you all. Love you.